What's up, guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Well, I've been mining Kaspa at home with two Asic miners, two KS0 Ultras for the past 45 days, and I'm finally ready to share the results with you guys. Today we're going to look at how much Kaspa have I mined in a month and a half, what are these devices looking like profitability wise, should you still buy one, and how close am I to making back my initial investment, where after that everything will be profit. So I also have a few extra tips and tricks that I've been trying to make these devices more profitable. So let's get into it. So real quickly, let's take a look at what stock setting profitability looks like for right now, today. And if we go into what to mine and we put in our 0.8 terahash, because each KS0 Ultra running stock is 400 gigahash, and that's just the hash rate of the device. And then they each take 100 watts, so 200 watts total. We'll hit calculate with our power cost of 11 cents. And you can see that we are indeed still profitable. We're bringing in 93 cents per device, and we're taking home 40 cents profit after power cost. So essentially they use about 53 cents in power every single day. So that's pretty good. So we're still making about 20 cents per device every single day for 40 cents total, which, don't get me wrong, is not a crazy amount, but I think Kaspa as a coin is going to go up big. So right now our main goal is just accumulating as much Kaspa as possible. And that's why we actually overclock these devices. So if I go to this next tab, you can see that in the overclocked variety, I'm running these at 0.618 terahash. So with two of them, it's 1.24, and the wattage is 393, and that's accounting for the extra fan that's on the device. And so with those extra fans, it adds a little extra wattage, and it puts us at 393 watts for a total profitability of 43 cents. But the important thing is we're getting 8.145 Kaspa per day, whereas if we didn't overclock them, we'd only be getting 5 Kaspa. So essentially we're getting 3 extra Kaspa a day, or 20 extra a week, which is going to add up. If Kaspa goes to $1, that's an extra $20 a week. And when these devices total cost $480, that's a big portion of that we want to make sure we're getting that extra Kaspa yield. One of the main ways that you can kind of improve profitability of your ASIC devices is checking out different mining pools, and some pools are going to perform better than others, so I recommend that you at least test a variety of them to see which one works best for you. And that's where we come to ViaBTC, the sponsor of this video. I've been using their pool for about a week now, and it's been performing pretty well. So you can see my last 24-hour profit is 8.67 Kaspa, and if we compare that to the mining calculator, that is almost 10% more than what to mine is calculating. And that could have been from, I just was very lucky and had high hash rate over the past day. But overall, as long as I'm getting more than the calculators are estimating, then I'm pretty happy. So I want to walk you guys through ViaBTC's pool interface, because it is pretty interesting. It's different than a lot of mining pools, and there is some cool features on here. So this is the main dashboard. How this works is it's kind of account based. So you have a ViaBTC account, and then you can mine all these different coins to your pool, and they're going to go into essentially your pool wallet. So real quickly, the coins that you can mine on here: BTC, BCH, Kaspa, ETC, Litecoin. So ViaBTC is a very established pool for Kaspa. I believe they're the third highest hash rate pool. For Litecoin, they are number 1. So if you have a script miner, it's probably worth checking out ViaBTC. And for Bitcoin, I believe they are third as well. But so here is the dashboard. You're going to be able to see your hash rate, your daily hash rate. So you can see I started mining on 9/6, and then these last few days, today is 9/15. So my hash rate has remained relatively stable around 1.25 terahash. So let's look at some of the other features they have that are not necessarily available on other pools. So if you go to the assets page, that's going to be what I was talking about earlier, where you have sort of a few wallets within your actual ViaBTC account. So these are all the coins that you could potentially be mining. And you can see that I've mined 66 Kaspa just in the past few days for $12. So that's pretty good. And then if I wanted to withdraw this, you go into withdrawal here, and then you have a few different options. So ViaBTC, I guess, has a bit of a partnership with CoinEx Exchange. Unfortunately, if you want to use this in the US, you have to use a VPN. So this isn't the option I use, but you can withdraw to CoinEx for 0 Kaspa, or you can just do a normal transfer, put in your Kaspa address, and then how much you want to withdraw. And you're only getting charged 0.1 Kaspa, which is like 1 to 2 cents. So essentially no withdrawal fee. And you just have to have a minimum of 10 Kaspa to actually send out. So another cool thing, if you go into their mining profit rankings, this is kind of like a lot of those Asic prices sites where you can see sort of what's the most profitable Asic for your power rate. But I actually think I like the ViaBTC one a little bit better, because you can set your power rate up here, and then you can just switch which coin you're interested in purchasing Asic miners for, and see what percent of the mining revenue is going to go to electric. So if we go to BTC, you can see even on the best Bitcoin miner, the Antminer S21 hybrid, 78% of my revenue would be going towards power. So this is probably not the best miner for me. But if I look at some of these other coins, like Litecoin, the new L9, only 43% would be going to power. And then if we go to like ETC, you get some of these new Bombax miners, it's all the way down to 48 or 38%, with profit being $12 to $10 a day. So that's pretty good. The last cool thing about ViaBTC Pool that I want to share is if you go to the assets tab and then you go to convert, this is going to allow you to convert one crypto to another without having to send it off to an exchange. You can do this all on ViaBTC Pool, and this is definitely helpful for coins like Kaspa, where we don't have a US exchange to actually switch your Kaspa into Bitcoin or USDT if that's what you wanted to do. So if I go to Kaspa right here, and one thing to note is the minimum Kaspa to do this conversion is 500, but you can actually set up an auto conversion. And for Kaspa, the minimum for auto conversion is 200. So 200 is not that big of an amount. But you can select Kaspa, and then you can select which coin you actually want to transfer it to. And for Kaspa, the only option is USDT. But from there, you could go to whatever else you wanted to go to. Keep in mind, I haven't tested this, so I don't know if there's a lot of slippage and fees involved. But regardless, for coins like Kaspa that don't have a US exchange, this is a pretty handy feature. All right, so let's continue on to, if you want to go to ViaBTC, how do you actually set up your KS0 Ultra to do that? Because ViaBTC is offering 50% reduced mining fees for the first 30 days. So if you're interested, now would be the time to do it, and I'll have a link down below. But to actually set this up, it's a little bit confusing, but I'll show you right here. It shouldn't be anything too difficult. So for your wallet, you're not actually going to put your Kaspa wallet in there. You're going to put your ViaBTC account name and then dot your worker name. So this is my KS0 Ultra 1, so I just have my account name, period, my worker name. And then there's 2 stratums you want to put in here. Basically, if one goes offline, then it's going to mine to the other as a backup. And then you just hit save, restart your device, and boom, you're going to see your devices pulling up into the pool, just like you see right here. All right, so let's take a look at how much Kaspa have I mined over 45 days and how close am I to making back my investment on these devices. This is the big question everybody wants to know, and therefore, is it worth buying these devices? So if we go to the Kaspa page on CoinGecko, you can see we're at 17.38 cents. So Kaspa has had a pretty good run over the past week or so, and with KRC20 launching, hopefully there's going to be some additional price movement, and I have a feeling there's going to be some good news next week, but I'll follow back up on you guys with that then. My total amount of Kaspa in my Tangent wallet, I have 356, and we just established that I have 66 in ViaBTC, so let's add those together real quick. For a total Kaspa of 422 Kaspa over a month and a half period. About 75% of that, my devices were overclocked, so that's good. I had some power outages mixed in between, so I'd say if you had perfect uptime, it's probably closer to 450, but we'll use 422 for this calculation. So 422 Kaspa is 73 US dollars. And if you remember, I paid 480 for these devices. So that puts us about not even 25% of the way back to break even, which is pretty concerning because the hash rate on the Kaspa network is essentially going parabolic. If you look at the last year of Kaspa hash rate, just in the last 2 months, it's gone insane. I don't know why it won't let me put my mouse over here, but it went from about 400 petahash to 1 exahash, and it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down. So that's the concerning thing about buying ASIC home miners like this, is that once this network hash rate continues to increase, eventually it is going to get to the point where our little KS0 Ultras are not profitable anymore. Now, we still have a decent amount of room before that happens, and I can always revert them back to stock settings to get them more efficient so that I'm at least always profitable on them and continue stacking that Kaspa. So that's the bad news about it, is that we're never going to be making as much Kaspa as we're making today in the future, because there's going to be more hash rate, so we're going to be getting less coins. But the good news is, if we're sitting at 422 Kaspa, and Kaspa does ever go to $1, then boom, at that point we're already basically break even on these devices, and it's only been a month and a half. Now, the other side of that is, if you are banking on Kaspa doing a 5x in price, then you would have been better off spending your $480 buying the coin itself instead of buying these miners. But you never know, because the other side of that just keeps going back and forth, is if Kaspa goes to $1, then these KS0 Ultras are likely going to be a lot more profitable and have potentially resale value that is higher than what we bought them for on the used market. So selling them on eBay or something like that. And if that's the case, and we do end up selling these miners for the same price we got them or even higher, then essentially all the Kaspa we mined between the time we bought it and the time we sold it was free Kaspa. And that is the situation that we're hoping for, where we eventually can sell these miners for about the same price we bought them for, and then we got to mine on them essentially for free and generate, hopefully at that point, 2,000, 3,000 Kaspa, which is going to be a while, but it would be good to have. So those are the results of mining over the past 45 days. Don't forget about the ViaBTC deal down in the description, 50% off your mining fees for the next 30 days. So if you think it could boost your profits, go ahead and check it out. If you're interested in seeing some of my other videos, I have some similar Alethea miners coming this week. So check out the rest of my channel, some of my other videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks for watching Modern Mining.